Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Make It Together, How to Make a Simple Dinner. So I had made a menu, and tonight I was originally going to be making some ratatouille and some honey mustard pork chops, but everyone here has kind of come down with a little bit of a cold, including myself, and I not only wanted something super quick and easy, but also wanted something healthy, and I like soup when I don't feel well. And I also made some bone broth, which, by the way, I made a video. It will be up a little later, maybe tomorrow morning, about me making that and also some of the health benefits. So be sure to check out that video. But I made some bone broth, and I'm going to be adding it into the soup today. The bone broth is definitely good for you when you're not feeling well, or if you haven't been eating well, if you have gut problems. Bone broth is awesome. So I'm going to just be throwing in a bunch of vegetables that I had in the Instant Pot is how I'm making it. So altogether, it shouldn't take longer than about 30 minutes for prepping and making the food. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up the vegetables now. So I have some onion, squash, zucchini, carrot, celery, kale, and I'm going to be putting in some green lentils. And so what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to take out the Instapot pot, and I'm going to chop up the vegetables and just throw them all in there. So not too much to cut today. Let's go ahead and get started on that. So I'm going to cut up the zucchini and the squash first, just because they're easier to cut. That's my methodology. Even though you're supposed to do what's harder first, but it's all good. So I'm going to cut these in relatively small chunks. I guess just say medium. I like chunky soup. So I like it when there's bite to it. Not such a big fan of tomato soup just for that reason. And I don't really like drinking just the broth. So I just cut those in half and kind of cut them like that. So I'm going to cut all the vegetables about that same size, and once I'm done with those, I'm just going to throw them directly into the Instapot. And for my kale, I don't use the stems, so I just wanted to add that on there just in case you've never cooked with kale. I just pull the leaves off. These are just, even after you cook them, they're very rough, I guess would be the right word. They don't really get soft too well. So I always just take that off. Take the little stem off. So I have all the vegetables in here, and I'm going to add the lentils. I just took them out of the bag and rinsed them off. I always just like to rinse them. And I'm using the 1 pound bag. So we got all those in here. And since I wasn't intending on making this, it was kind of off the menu. I didn't have the meat. So my mom is actually running home on the way from work to get it. And I'm just going to be adding some sausage in here as well. So I'm just going to stir that up a little. And then I'm going to add the seasonings to it. So that's what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to be adding in some red cayenne pepper. Not too much, but we do have some sinus stuff, whatever this cold is. So spicy is definitely good for that. Adding turmeric, my favorite for fighting inflammation. A little bit of pepper, which if you combine turmeric and pepper, the pepper helps your body to be able to absorb all of the anti-inflammatory properties of the turmeric. That's oregano. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin, a little bit of onion powder. Oh man, I guess I won't because it's empty. It's got like that little bit left. Alright, I guess I need to buy some more. And I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. There's still some more of that. And I actually have some more onion powder over here. So I'm gonna add some of that. This is regular, yeah, so. Okay. And what else do I wanna add? Maybe a little bit of chili powder. Just a wee bit. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of coriander. Actually, is this one ready? Yeah, because this one's not open yet, so I want to make sure that I use all of them. All right. There we go. And so in here, I'm going to be using bone broth. So be sure to check out that video of how I made that. This works miracles of healing for your gut. So I'm just going to pour that over it. And since I'm gonna need a little bit more, I'm just gonna pour it in the pan. So I'm gonna use the filtered water. I like to use the filtered water from my refrigerator. All right, I think that's good. I don't wanna cover everything. I just want it to be in there, and it's almost covering it. So that's good. So I'm just going to kind of mix everything around so that it's all in there good. And this is going to cook on high in the Instapot for 18 minutes. So we're going to cook that, make sure these are all done, and then I will be adding in these sausages afterwards. So we got those together, and I'm going to just put that in the pot. And before I get to the Instapot, I just wanted to show you guys. So when you watch the video of me making the bone broth, and I put in like a bunch of just the ends and stuff of the vegetables. That's where this comes from. So all like the ends and the part that I don't use, the stems and whatnot, all those go into a bag that we freeze, and you can use those to make vegetable broth or bone broth. So I always keep my scraps. So if you don't own an Instapot, I would definitely recommend getting one. They are fantastic for making food on the go that still tastes good. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys. So right now it's off. You just plug it in. The lid is the hardest part to get on, actually, because it has to like perfectly align. Oh, and it makes all these wonderful noises to know that it's on. So this, I'm going to push pressure cook. And I'm going to just increase the time to 18 minutes. Pretty simple. And then that's it. You just leave it. And so the thing that I like about this, it doesn't immediately start counting down the 18 minutes. All right. So it doesn't start counting down the 18 minutes. It starts counting down once it warms up. So it'll automatically start counting down, and it registered your time. So it'll show on until it's warm enough, and then it'll start counting down from the 18 minutes. And so while we're waiting on the Instapot, I just wanted to show you guys. So this is my bag full of vegetables. It was all the way full when I started the bone broth. So I'm just going to add these vegetables in. And since I know that I'm going to be making one soon, I'm not going to worry about that these are older, because the next time that I make it, I'll probably just pour all of that in, or majority of it. So then I just keep that. And that way when you're making broth, you don't have to buy vegetables that you're going to cut up and then just discard when you're done. You can just save the scraps. So I just wanted to show you guys, it beeped. And so now the 18 is here, and if you noticed at the very top, it had like a picture of a pot with a flame underneath it. And so now it started to count down. And then also at the top of the Instapot, I should have showed you before, this thing right here, this you have to put to sealing. So there's sealing at the top, and then venting. It's very hot. Venting at the bottom. And so you want to make sure that it's on the sealing side. And then this thing is all the way down initially, but when it pops up like it is now, then you'll be able to see it beginning to count down. So see, now we're at 17 minutes, and so it will beep again after 17 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and let the steam out. Alright, so the timer went off, and so this is how you vent it. You just want to kind of move it like that. This is like the more fun part of one of these. But you don't want to put your finger on it because it's very hot. So just continue to do that until it kind of goes out a little. And you'll know that the pressure is going down when this little thing drops. Kind of like a geyser. And you can definitely smell the food. It smells really good. And yeah, there's a lot of pressure in here. And so I went ahead and turned it off, and I'm just going to continue to let the air come out. Alright, so this thing dropped, and then and only then, once there's no more steam and that has dropped, then you can take off the lid. So it says on there which way to open it, so we're just going to turn it, and it'll make that noise. Let that remaining steam come out. And then this is all ready. So it smells really, really good. You can tell that everything in here is cooked. So I just have to wait to get the sausages in. And then I'm going to be topping it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese that I shredded. Yes, that looks so good. And it smells amazing. And it's not too much liquid left over, which is exactly what I wanted. Because I didn't want it to be like a super thick broth. This is how I like to do soup. I guess it's more like a stew than anything else. But yes. And that literally took like 20 minutes with all of the heating and everything. So I'm just going to let this sit. The sausage should be here in about 5 minutes or so, and then I'm going to chop that up and put it in. Alright guys, well thanks for watching that video. I definitely cannot wait to try that with the sausage in it. I tasted a little bit of it and it's really good. It's got like the perfect amount of spice to it, so I'm really excited to try that. And if you like this recipe and would like to see other ones that I have made, or if you have suggestions for ones in the future, please let me know, because I would love to hear your feedback. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and be sure to check out my Instagram. I'm going to post the picture of what it looked like afterwards with the sausage and the cheese that's going to be on it. So if you have watched this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!